Hello students, welcome back to the math class. Today we are going to start from question number 31. We have left one question in between. Question number 31 is remaining. So let us finish this question and then we can start the exercise 9.4. So see in this question what they are saying. What will rupees 500 amount to in 10 years after its deposit in a bank which pays annual interest rate of 10% compounded annually? So if you see this question in the lower classes like class 8, so we know that we can easily find out with the help of compound interest, and we can apply the formula of compound interest and we can calculate the value. But since we are studying here geometric progression and in the sequence and series, so can we say that here this sequence, this interest along with the principal is forming a geometric progression? That we need to prove it first. Okay, and if it is forming a geometric progression, then we can find out with the help of GP also. However, this method is not convenient for us, but since we are studying as a part of application of GP, so we can say that with the help of GP also such kind of amount which is compounded annually we can easily find out. Okay, so first of all we shall determine whether it is forming or GP or not. Then in the further cases we can easily use as a GP and we can find out the required amount by the help of the formula nth term or the sum of the terms. Okay, so here you see, first of all we shall prove it the given sequence is forming a GP or not. This proving the given sequence is a GP will not be compulsory in the examination. That is just for our satisfaction. Whenever we are applying this formula, we should know yes, this formula is correct or not. Okay. So first of all, we shall prove it the given sequence is GP or not. So first, if I say if suppose if I take principal P, if principal principal spelling is wrong. Principal is equal to P rupees. Rate is equal to R%, we can say. Okay, and time we are taking here T years. Okay, so this is the given condition, compounded annually. Then can we say that it is going to form a GP because it is a clear case of compound interest, right? So can we say that it is going to form as a wait a minute, we shall write down this one once again, compounded annually. Yes. Okay, so can we say that it is forming a GP or not? So see, I will find out the interest one by one, means for first year, for second year and third year, and I will add the principal in each and every year. Okay, remember in the compound interest the principal updated each and every year, means whatever the principal for the first year, the second year the principal gets changes, it increase, and for third year again it will change. So we shall find out the amount at the end of first year, amount at the end of second year, and then we shall determine whether it is forming a GP or not. Okay, so see, suppose if I find out, first I will write down here interest for first year. Interest for first year. Okay, so here for first year if I am finding the interest, I will show it by the symbol I1. Okay, formula I am using here P into R into T upon 100, the formula of simple interest. Because if I want to find out the interest for 1 year only, then it doesn't matter you apply the formula of compound interest or you apply the formula of simple interest. Okay, so here I am applying the formula of simple interest. P is equal to P, R is R only, but since time we are taking only for 1 year, so we shall take it here 1, and then divided by 100. Means it will become PR upon 100. Okay, so this is my interest. So we can say that therefore the amount at the end of first year. After 1 year, what will be the amount? That will be principal plus interest. Okay, whatever the principal you have given, along with that interest you will get. So principal is P only and the interest is PR upon 100. I can take P common from this. So if I take P common, then remaining is here 1 plus R upon 100. Now you observe this is the amount at the end of the first year. Okay, here 1 plus R upon 100, power I can assume 1. That will become significant after finding the amount of second year. Okay, now we shall find out the interest for second year. So now I will write down here interest for second year. Okay, so let us find out the interest for the second year. Now remember, when I am finding the interest for second year, my principal will be changed. So I will say the principal value is P2. Okay, because second year I am finding the principal. So P2 is actually equal to the old principal plus the interest, that is I1, and that already we found as P into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100. Okay, so this is my principal. Rate will be same, so R will be equal to R and time will be equal to here 1 year, that we can say. Okay, so now if I find out the value of I2, second interest of second year, so I2 will be equal to P into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100. Okay, into R, because rate is R, I am putting into the formula P into R into T upon 1. T is 1 and whole divided by it would be 100. Okay, so this can be written as PR upon 100, that I can correct at one place, and in the bracket 1 plus R upon 100. Right, this is the value of interest of the second year. Now what will be the amount of after second year? So now we can write down amount after second year. So what will be the amount after second year? That will be equal to the principal value we have considered, that is P2. Okay, and plus I2. So let us add P2 and I2. P2 we have P into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100. Okay, and plus I2 we have PR upon 100 into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100. Okay, now 1 plus R upon 100 and P will come common. We can check P is coming common, as well as 1 plus R upon 100, that whole bracket is also common. So we can say that inside it will remain, from the first term it will remain 1 and from the second term it will remain again R upon 100. And now you observe 1 plus R upon 100 and 1 plus R upon 100. If both will multiply, it will become 1 plus R upon 100 whole power 2. So observe now here conclusion we need to draw it. See, amount at the end of 1 year. What do we got here? P into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 whole power 1. This is the amount at the end of first year. And amount at the end of the second year I am getting here as P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power 2. Now we know that the formula of amount at the compound interest. Okay, since we know that amount at compound interest, that formula is actually A into the bracket, sorry, P into the bracket P into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 whole power T, you can say, or normally we say that it is N. I am writing T here because time I am taking T. So this is the formula of compound interest. So this is the formula of amount at a compound interest. So see, we are getting the same format. If we are finding the amount at the end of second year, we can say that we got P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power 2. And if I am finding the amount at the end of first year, I am getting the same result, only the power is different. P into 1 plus R upon 100 whole power 1. So what sequence we can say here? If I am finding the amount for a different years, we can say that therefore amount for first, second, third, dash years, if I try to find out. Okay, so it will be first amount will be A into the bracket, sorry, then I am writing A over here, P into the bracket will come, P into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 whole power 1. Similarly for second year, the amount will be P into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 whole power 2. And if you write down for third year, then P into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 whole power, it would be 3. Now you divide second term by the first or third term by the second. Definitely you will get the common ratio same. Okay, if you divide second by first, I think common ratio you will get here 1 plus R upon 100. Similarly, if you divide the third term by the second, we can say that common ratio will be same. So we can say that since A2 upon A1 is equal to A3 upon A2 is equal to dash in the same manner is equal to 1 plus R upon 100. So we can say that therefore it forms GP. Right, it is forming a GP over here, and since it is forming a GP, we can say that we can find out the value of the amount after certain years they are asking with the help of GP itself. Now see in the question, now from here we can write down properly a solution. Okay, in the examination you need to write down from here only you need to say that the amount calculated at compound interest will be forming an GP. Okay, so here you see what they are saying to us. How much principal is given to us? 500 rupees. Time is given 10%. Rate is given is also 10%. Okay, so this is the given condition and we need to find out the amount at the end of the 10 year. Remember, here they are asking the amount after 10 years, means they are not asking the sum. They are asking the value of the amount in the 10th year. So see here, if I am finding the amount after second year, means I am finding the value of A2. Okay, so let us see how we can find out. Now here first we shall write down, since amount calculated at compound interest, therefore it forms GP. It forms GP. So now we need to find out here, sorry, first of all we shall write down what we have given. Here what we have given that P is equal to 500 rupees. Okay, rate is equal to 10%. Okay, and time is given as here 10 years. So now we need to find out, therefore amount at the end of 10 years. Question is simple, end of 10 years, but only the conclusion whatever we have drawn, that takes time. Okay, so only to satisfy you how the GP is going to form, otherwise the confusion can be there how directly we have applied the formula of compound interest. Now see how we can find out. First of all, you see our what is the value of R here. Value of R is given here as 1 plus R upon 100. That you need to remember. The value of R is 1 plus R upon 100. And the principal is given here as 500. So observe here what pattern we are getting in this such kind of GPs. See, here you observe this particular line you observe. This is the amount. If I talk about this particular one, this is the amount at the end of 1 year. Similarly, second term you observe, this is the amount at the end of second year. And similarly, the third term is given as the amount at the end of third year. So similarly, I can say that if I try to find out here the amount at the end of 10 years, I can say it can be written as 500 into the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 whole power, it would be also 10. So it can be written as, sorry, value of R I have not put here. So let me put the value of R. R is here 10. So 1 plus 10 upon 100 whole power, it would be 10. Okay. So it can be written as 500 into the bracket here. 110 got cancelled. So remaining is here 1 plus 1 upon 10 I am writing as 0.1 whole power 10. So it can be set as 500 into the bracket 1.1 whole power 10 rupees. You need not to be simplified moreover further. Okay, so this is the solution of the question. Actually solution was very short, only to convince you how directly we can apply the formula of compound interest that I have shown you, how the connection is there with the current topic and the formula we have applied. Now we are starting the new topic, that is topic number 4. First of all, we shall see some of the definitions before we start the topic number 4, and then we shall start the questions. Now see, here suppose if you have given some sequences and you need to find out the sum up till n terms, means you are going to generalize your sum. Okay, we are not finding the particular sum up till 10 term or 20 term only. Suppose if I say generalize the sum, means find out the sum up till n terms. So suppose in future I require the sum up till 10 terms, I will put up the value of n and directly I can find out the sum. After some time, if I require the find out the sum up till 20 terms, so I will put up simply the value of n is equal to 20 and I can find out the required sum. So my general sum will work for any kind of particular sum in the future requirement. Okay. Now here the sequence whatever they are giving to us, they are not forming completely AP or completely GP. Okay. They are forming a mixed sequences, means not AP and GP. They may be forming the similar kind of sequence, but the sequence will not be called as completely AP or GP. For example, I will give you one small example. 1 into 2 plus 2 into 3 plus 3 into 4 and so on. Observe this particular sequence. Okay. Now if you multiply 1 into 2, how much? That will be 2. Okay. Plus 2 into 3, that will be 6. 3 into 4, that will be 12 and so on. Now you observe here difference is 2 to 6 difference is 4 and 6 to 12 difference is 6. Okay. So here we can say that it is not forming an AP. Okay. If you divide 6 by 2 is 3 and 12 by 6 is 2. So again it is not forming a GP also, means 2, 6, 12 not forming GP as well as AP. But if you see carefully such kind of sequences, if I want to find out the sum, then how we shall find out? This is called as the special kind of series. So if you want to find out such kind of special series sum, then first of all you observe the pattern. Now see here I am making some boxes. See the first one, then first term of both the sequences. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now if I ask you the boxes I made, then 1, 2, 3 and so on, are they forming an AP? Definitely 1, 2, 3 is forming an AP. And see, if I take the second term 2, 3 and here it is coming 4. So observe the circle I marked or the second term, observe this is also forming an AP. So basically they have multiplied two APs and they are asking to find out the sum up till n term of the resultant sequence. Okay, so resultant sequence directly sum we cannot find out. We can find out the nth term of the given sequence with the help of fundamentals of AP, and then we can proceed to find out the sum. After making the nth term of the AP, when we are finding the sum, we require these three formulas. Formula number 1, 2 and 3. Now I will explain you briefly what this formula says to us. Okay, for example, see the first sequence. What sequence is given? The first point, 1 plus 2 plus 3 sorry, 1 plus 2 plus 3 dash dash, it is going up till n, means I am adding some positive integers, natural numbers up till n. So sum is n into n plus 1 upon 2. This sum you must have used in the last year in AP also. Okay, so this sum, suppose if I say if I require the sum 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 and plus 5. So manually if I add, what do I get? 5 plus 4 9, 9 plus 3 12, 14 and plus 1 15. Directly I can say manually it is 15. But if I say find out the same way sum up till 50 terms, so we need to use this particular formula. Okay, n into n plus 1 upon 2. Suppose if I keep here 5 because 5 terms are there. So 5 into 5 plus 1 whole divided by 2. So it will be 5 into 6 upon 2. 2 ones are 2, 2 threes are 6. Answer is 15. So see how easily we got the answer if we know the sum of the series up till n terms. Just you have to put up the value of n and you can easily get the required sum. Similarly, if you are squaring and then adding the terms over here, means if you are finding the squaring of 1 square, 2 square, 3 square and so on, then what will be the sum? Then in that case, the general sum is given here, n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6. And similarly, if you are cubing the positive numbers and then you are adding them, then the sum is given here, n into n plus 1 upon 2 whole power 2. Okay, so these three formulas we need to use it in some form of special series sum when we shall find out. There we shall get summation n, somewhere we shall get the symbol summation n. So summation n value we shall put up there, n into n plus 1 upon 2. If summation n square is coming, then we shall put up n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 upon 6. Similarly, we shall put up the value of summation n cube. Sorry, here it will come summation n cube. Please make correction. Okay, so here suppose summation n cube is coming, we shall put up the value n into n plus 1 upon 2 the whole power 2. So in all such cases we need to put these values and we can proceed to find out the sum of the given sequence. Okay, something will be little confusing for you right now. When we shall solve one or two questions, then you will come to know how exactly we can solve the question. Questions are not difficult. These are very simple questions and each and every student attempt very easily such kind of questions in the examination. Only remember these three formulas whichever I have written over here. And out of these three formulae, one or two already you are knowing it. Okay, so let us start the first question, then we will come to know the actual requirement of such kind of questions. So we can start now. First question. This is topic number 4, sum of the special series. Okay, first question you can see whatever the example I have taken, that is the only given as a special series over here. Observe the first term of the sequence. For example, observe 1, then 2, then 3 and then 4. Can we say that 1, 2, 3, 4 is forming an AP? Definitely. And if you observe the second term, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is also forming an AP. When they multiplied, they form a sequence in such a way which do not comes under arithmetic progression as well as in the geometric progression. So we are helpless over here how to find out the sum in such kind of series, because we are multiplying and then we are finding the sum. But here to find out the sum of such kind of sequences, we shall find out directly first the nth term of this sequence and then we shall apply the formulas of sum of special series. Okay, let us see the whole process once. First of all, we shall write down in the solution nth term of given sequence. Nth term of given sequence is equal to, I am finding the nth term of the given sequence. Normally, if I want to find out the nth term of AP, we apply the formula A plus n minus 1 into D. In GP, we apply the formula A into R to the power n minus 1. Okay, so here we shall use a little different technique. We will apply the formula of AP nth term only, because if I take the first term, they are forming AP. If I take the second term, they are forming the AP. So we shall apply the formula of nth term of AP, but approach will be little different. Okay, here we shall write down in the first nth term of 1, 2, 3 dash dash dash. See, 1, 2, 3 I have written here the first term of the sequence. Okay, and since it is in the multiplication with the second term, so here I am putting the multiply sign, and then I am writing here nth term of 2, 3, 4 and so on. Okay, observe 2, 3, 4 will be the second term of the sequence. First term is 2, then second term is 3, third term is 4, fourth term is 5 and so on. Now you see, if I want to find out the nth term of 1, 2, 3, I will use here formula A plus nth term of AP. What is the formula? A plus n minus 1 into D. This is the formula we have given to us. Now here, what is the value of A? Value of A is 1 plus n will be as it is, because nth term we are finding, and value of D is also 1. 2 minus 1 will be equal to 1 into the bracket. Second, nth term of 2, 3, 4. So here value of A is going to change, that is 2 plus n minus 1 into, if you subtract 2 from 3 or 3 from 4, the common difference here also it is 1. Okay, now let us simplify this one. So if I simplify further, the first bracket it will be 1 plus n minus 1. Okay, and second bracket it will be 2 plus n minus 1. Here minus 1 and plus 1 got cancelled, and from there 2, 1 will be subtracted. So remaining is here n into n plus 1. Now if you want to check, here I will say this will be the nth term of the given sequence. Okay, so if you want to check this nth term is correct or not, put up the value of n is equal to 1. You will get the first sequence. So you will get the first term in the sequence. Similarly, put up the value of n is equal to 2. You will get 2 into 3. If you put n equal to 3, you will get 3 into 4. And we can say that yes, we are getting the all the terms as per the value of n, we shall keep it, and this will be the nth term of the given sequence. So see how easily the nth term of the given sequence be found, and in almost all the question except 1 or 2 questions we shall find out the nth term of the given sequence in the same manner. Okay, now the condition is we need to find out the sum of all terms up till n terms. Okay, so here we shall write down taking sum on both sides. Before I take sum, I will make one small change in my nth term. Here n into n plus 1 is given, so n I will multiply inside. It will become n square plus n. Okay, so now if I am taking the sum on both the side, then some symbol of summation will come. This symbol, normally we say that symbol of sigma, Greek letter. Here also some symbol of sigma will come, n square plus n. Sigma shows we are adding all the terms. Okay, and summation of an I will show further by the symbol Sn. Now it can be summation symbol, I will take it inside. It is summation of n square plus summation of n. Now try to remember the formula we have written in the definition. Summation n we have written as n into n plus 1 upon 2. Okay, and summation of n square means here that is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6. This formula we have written. Actually summation n means what? 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus dash 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 up till n. And summation of n square means what actually? 1 square plus 2 square plus 3 square plus 4 square and going up till n square. So here directly we have the formula for both kind of sequences. So summation of n square I will apply n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 whole divided by 6, and summation of n we can say it can be n into, I will write down at this place, okay, please don't be confused, n into n plus 1 upon 2. This is the value of summation n. Now we need to simplify a little bit over here. We will take some common. Observe n and n plus 1 is common between both the terms, as well as upon 2 also we can take common. So what will remain here? 2n plus 1, and in the upon here it will remain 3, and at the second term it will remain only 1. Now moreover we'll simplify. Okay, so whenever you are simplifying, think about to take common. Otherwise directly if you handle the given terms and you have taken the LCM, it will become more lengthy. So first of all take common and then take the LCM. So here LCM will come now 3. So 2n plus 1 plus it would be 3. Okay, 2n plus 1 plus 3, this will become 2n plus 4, and from that 2 I am taking common. So it will remain n into n plus 1 whole divided by 2 into 2n plus 4. I am taking 2 common. Remaining is here n plus 2 upon 3. Here 2 and 2 got cancelled. So this will be the final value whichever we got here. We can say that therefore Sn will be equal to n into n plus 1 into n plus 2 whole divided by 3. This is my general sum of the given sequence. Now see this sum we got. We should know in the examination and right now also whether our sum has come correct or not. Okay, so suppose if I want to find out the sum up till 2 terms. So if I put the value of n is equal to 2, can we say that our sum is correct or not? Once we check the sequence, okay, what is the sequence given to us? It was given to us 1 into 2, 2 into 3, 3 into 4. Okay, so just for cross checking, we'll check this sum for 2 terms or for 3 terms. Okay, so here I am writing the heading checking. Okay, this is not required in examination, just for our satisfaction we are doing it. So what was the sequence given to us? 1 into 2 plus 2 into 3 plus 3 into 4 and so on. Okay, so I am finding the sum first of all manually up till 3 terms. So if I say sum up to 3 terms, so what do we get? Okay, manually we shall find out first. So that will be 2 plus 2 into 3 6 and 3 into 4 it will be 12. So I think it will come 20. Okay, manually. Now if I check with the help of formula. So by formula, whatever the formula we have generated here for 3 terms, is it giving us sum correctly? S is equal to 3 into the bracket 3 plus 1, then 3 plus 2 and divided by 3, right? 3 and 3 got cancelled here. 3 plus 1 4 and 3 plus 2 it is 5, right? And 5 and 4 you multiply, you get the answer 20. See, for 3 terms we can have the cross verification or we can find out manually, but for 20 terms, for 100 terms you cannot find out. So the profit of finding the sum up till n term is that we can easily put the value of n by any positive integer, and by that term it will calculate the sum easily over there. So see, sequence was given to us, we have given the general sum to them, just put up the value of n and get the sum. Okay, Now let us see the similar kind of one more question. Question number 2. See, second question is given to us. First, I will find out the nth term of the given sequence. So here we shall write down nth term of given sequence is equal to, we shall mention first nth term of first term. So nth term of 1. Now here you observe three terms are given, 1 into 2 into 3, 2 into 3 into 4, 3 into 4 into 5. So actually we have given the multiplication of three terms. So I am taking first term. So 1 comma 2 comma 3 dash dash dash. Okay, similarly now I am taking the middle term, second term. So into nth term of second term. Observe, second term is 2, then 3, then 4. Okay, so we shall write down 2 comma 3 comma 4 dash 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 into, then we shall write down nth term of third term, that is 3, 4, 5 and so on, right? Now first we shall find out the nth term of 1, 2, 3, that will be 1 plus n minus 1 into 1. This is the first value, into second one 2 plus n minus 1 into 1, because common difference is same everywhere, only the first term is going to change. Similarly the third one 3 plus this will be n minus 1 and then again into 1, right? Now simplify this one. This will be in the bracket 1 plus n minus 1 into 2 plus n minus 1 into 3 plus n minus 1. Now here minus 1 and plus 1 got cancelled. So from the first it will remain n. We can say that therefore the value of an is equal to n into the bracket n plus 1 into n plus 2. This will be the sum of the nth term of the given sequence. Now as you know that to proceed further we need to multiply this one first. So n I am keeping outside. First I am multiplying n plus 1 and n plus 2. So that will be n square plus 2n plus n plus 2. 2n plus n will become 3 and n also I am multiplying from the outside. This will be n square and n. It will become n cube. This will be n cube plus 3n square. Okay, because 2n and n will become 3n and n is going to multiply. And then last 2 and n we shall multiply. This will become 2n. Now we can mention here taking sum on both sides. So here we shall write down taking sum on both sides. So what do we get now? This will be summation of an. Now here summation symbol directly I will place on each and every term. Summation of n cube plus 3 summation of n square plus 2 summation of n. Summation of an I will write down as Sn now. Okay, we'll change the symbol. Summation of n cube formula is n into n plus 1 whole divided by 2 whole power 2 plus 3 into summation of n square is n into n plus 1 into 2n plus 1 divided by 6 and plus 2 into summation of n is here n into n plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, So now if we simplify further, so one thing you observe here, from 3 we can cancel 6, it will remain 2. Here 2 and 2 also we can cancel, but see everywhere in the denominator, here also 2 is coming, here also 2 is coming, and here it will come 4. So it will be easier for us to take the common. So better we shall take the common. Okay, so we shall take the common over here as n into n plus 1 whole divided by 2. That I will take common over here. So what will remain here? In the first bracket it will remain n into n plus 1 upon 2, because it was a square of that. So 1 n into n plus 1 upon 2 I have taken common. Okay, then similarly from the second term it will remain 2n plus 1, and from third term only it will remain 2, because n into n plus 1 upon 2 I have taken common. So now 2n plus 1 plus 2, it will become 2n plus 3. So further little more we will simplify. N into n plus 1 upon 2 into the bracket. Here I will write down as 2 as LCM. This will remain n into n plus 1 plus 2 into the bracket 2n plus 3, that we can say. Okay, because 2n plus 1 plus 2 became as 2n plus 3, and after taking the LCM 2 will multiply over there. Again the term lying outside I am keeping as it is. So n into n plus 1 upon 2 will be as it is, into the bracket this will be n square plus n plus 4n and then plus 6. Okay, 2 I have multiplied inside, and upon 2 will be as it is. So here it will become as, finally we can say it would be n into n plus 1 upon 4. Okay, 2 and 2 have multiplied, and this expression will become n square plus 5n plus 6. If further you can split n square plus 5n plus 6, then you need to split further and find out the things. I think 5n we can split into 3n and 2n, and then we can furthermore it could be found. So if we try a little further, maybe expanded form you can write down, that is not an issue. And suppose if we write down in the proper factor form and if it can be splitted over there, then see n square plus 5n plus 6, I can write down n square plus 3n plus 2n plus 6. So here, from here I can take n common, so remaining is n plus 3, and from here I can take 2 common, remaining is again n plus 3. So see, n square plus 5n plus 6 I can write down as n plus 2 into n plus 3. So see, this is looking more proper as compared to the previous one. So this will be the sum of again given n terms of the sequences. Okay, if you put value of n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, you will get the required sum as per the question given to us. So here we have completed now the second question. Now one or two question you can try by your own, that I am keeping as a homework for you. We shall discuss orally about that question, so you can try this question, at least one or two question you can try by your own. Third question I will help you to find out up till nth term, then furthermore you can easily do it by your own. For example, here if I want to find out the nth term, how we can find out? We can say that nth term of given sequence is equal to, okay, that we can say nth term of, I will take the first term, so nth term of 3, 5, 7 and so on. I am taking the first term over here. Similarly, now see, you will be confused, square is coming, what shall we do it? Don't worry, take the term without square. For example, if 1 square, 2 square, 3 square, I take without square, that will be 1, 2, 3 and so on. and the question remain about square, the square we can put outside the bracket. See like this, nth term of, first I will take without square, 1 2 3 dash dash dash, and here I will put the square. Suppose next time if they give cube or any other power, simply put outside the bracket. It will work and your answer will also come same only. See now. Now first I will find out the nth term of the first sequence, that will be 3 is the first term, n minus 1 into value of common difference is here 2, right? This is the first nth term into the nth term of the second one, that will be 1 plus n minus 1 into 1 and whole power 2 will be as it is. So this will become 3 plus 2n minus 2, that is the one bracket, and into this will become 1 plus n minus 1 whole power 2, minus 1 and plus 1 got cancelled here. So 3 minus 2 is also plus 1. So we got here 2n plus 1 into n square, right? N square you can multiply. So value of an you will get here 2n cube plus n square. And when you will take the sum over here, then we can say that therefore summation of an is equal to 2. I will take it outside. Summation will work on only n. That will be summation of n cube plus summation of n square. Now here you can apply the formula of summation of n cube and summation of n square, and easily you can find out the required sum. Okay, we can see one more question if it is possible. So one or two question today you must try. I think sixth question can be done by you. Fourth and fifth I will explain to you. See the sixth question. Sixth question is also very simple. That can be easily done by you. Observe here 3. Then what is the second term is coming here? 6. Then 9. 3, 6, 9 is forming an AP. So you will find out the nth term of 3, 6, 9 multiplied with nth term of the second term, that is 8, 11 and then 14. 8, 11 and 14 is also forming an AP. Common difference is here 3. Okay, so sixth question easily you can find out by your own. So today your homework is question number 3rd and question number 6. In the next session I will take question number 4 and 5 that may not be possible to solve by you, especially question number 4. In the question number 4 we shall learn some new method that is called as the partial fraction. Okay, so that method I will explain to you in the next session. You finish question 3rd and question 6 by your own. Okay, thank you.